2019 CX-5. We're going to be putting on a new trailer hitch. So we got a whole kit. We got the trailer hitch itself. We got all the hardware, all the bolts and washers and all the stuff you need to install it. We also have a wiring kit. It's plug and play for the most part. You do have to run a power for the module. And we got the instructions just in case we need it. So if this is something that you guys are interested, please like and subscribe and comment any questions you have below, and then I'll try my best to answer them to my ability. And I'll show you step by step, best I can, of how to install it. If you want to do it at home, obviously you're going to be doing it on the floor. I'm going to be putting it on the hoist, so it's a little bit easier to see and a little quicker to install. And I'll show you step by step. Thanks. Okay, so after we got the exhaust hanging down, we're going to find our spots that the bolts are going to go through. Like I said, they have tape on them, some of them here. See one here, push through. It's the rear one, and then there's the other hole over here. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the rear one first. We're gonna fish the wire and the mounting bracket in behind the hardware, and then this one up front is actual. There's thread in the frame. Okay. So they supply you with a wire to fish up in there. So they give you this, and you got your bolt and the bracket to go in behind. So you just screw her on there. So there'll be an access hole at the bottom here. Okay, here we go. We'll just fish it through here. The hole, I would leave the fishing wire on so it doesn't fall in, and you can still get it on after when you got everything in place, and you can still spin this wire off to get your nut on. We're going to go ahead and do the other side also. Same thing. We're going to get our nut. Find our access hole, which is here. All right, fish it through. There. So I like to put the back bolt in first. There we go. So you fish the bolt through the back, both sides. All right. That is pretty much the hardest part, really, is to get the hitch up in place. Now you can go ahead and tighten up all the nuts and bolts. Okay, after all your nuts and bolts are all tight, you can go ahead and slip the exhaust back on. I like to spray some WD-40 on the rubber hangers. It just makes it a lot easier to slide it up in place. So after you have everything up in place, I would just go through everything, make sure everything is nice and tight and where it's supposed to be. Make sure there's no wires hanging in if you had to disconnect anything. And maybe give the exhaust a little shake to make sure it's not rubbing on anything. We look good. So far it's a pretty clean install. The next thing we have to do now is bring it down and do the wiring harness. Okay, so now we have to go and dismantle some of the inside of the vehicle to access the wiring. For the most part, it is a plug and play setup. So it will just jump your original connectors, but you will have to find a ground. So you have to find a bolt or self-tapper into a good solid piece of metal in the vehicle, and you also will have to run power. So you need a 12 volt source. Either you have to go all the way to the front to the battery, or you have to find a 12 volt source in the back. Best is to go to the battery. The kit does supply you with enough wiring to go to your battery. So you'll have to disassemble some of the plastics to get to the wiring. So first you'll need is a flat screwdriver and a handy flashlight. Okay, to see what you're doing. Sometimes a little dark, so you just have to pop off some of the plastics. So the module is here, and here's your connectors. This connector is meant to be connected on the driver's side first because the wire is shorter, and you'll have to run this one to the passenger side. So the connector is just a little quick release there. You push this tab here and then pull out the white connector. It's a little bit difficult when you're doing it with one hand. See if we can push this away. Okay, so you push the tab and you pull it out. Easy as that. This side you'll have the yellow connector. One will go to the taillight connector. Alright. So we're doing it the right way here. Here we go. It's clipped. And the other end will go in the factory and clipped. And it's easy as that. So now we can find a place to mount it that's not going to interfere anywhere. Something like so. and then this will have to be grounded kind of like that is. So if you can get that bolt off, put that there, that would be a good ground. So now we have to go and do the same thing to the other side. We'll have to run the wire across the back of the body and connect the rear tail light. So now that I have put my ground from the module, I will put a self-tapping screw there and mount that on the side so it's not kicking around all over the place. So now we'll have to run a power wire from this module back here all the way to the front battery. So we'll have to remove some of the panels, foot panels from the back door through the front door, access a hole under the dash, come along to our battery in the front here and connect it to your positive battery terminal. Okay, so that's our next step. All the panels back on the driver's side and the passenger. I'm going to put the rear ones back. For the actual harness that goes to the trailer, I found a grommet there, sliced a little hole in it, and I fed it through the bottom and all the way down to the hitch. Okay, so now I'm going to button up all that, put that all back together, and we're just about done. Okay, and that concludes putting on the hitch on a 2019 CX-5. See, it's a pretty flush mount. You don't see any of the other part of the hitch hidden away, so it's a really nice unit. Wire will stay there. There we go. It's all back together.